Football, in its purest form, is not merely a game of 22 players chasing a leather sphere across a field of grass. It is a canvas of human drama, a stage where history, pressure, and destiny collide under the blinding floodlights of the world's most grandiose arenas. When the final whistle echoes through the air, it does not just signal the end of 90 or 120 minutes of physical exertion. It marks the precise second where dreams are forged into immortal gold or shattered into irreparable fragments. The atmosphere inside the stadium during a World Cup final is unlike anything else in modern culture. It is a suffocating cauldron of noise, anxiety, and raw expectation, where millions of beating hearts hold their breath in unison. The emotional fallout of such a match lingers long after the turf is cleared. You can see it in the vacant stares of the defeated, carrying the crushing weight of a nation's heartbreak, and in the tearful, euphoric embraces of the victors, who have climbed to the absolute summit of human achievement. To understand the magnitude of this collision between Spain and Argentina, one must look past the immediate stakes and delve into the rich narrative tapestry woven over decades. This was a match steeped in a heavy weight of legacy, carrying deep psychological implications for both camps. For Argentina, led by an iconic talisman playing in what was destined to be his final appearance on the World Cup stage, the fixture represented a desperate fight to defend their crown and solidify an era of unprecedented global dominance. The media pressure surrounding their camp was suffocating, every tactical decision scrutinized under a relentless magnifying glass, every player forced to carry the romantic expectation of a passionate footballing nation. On the other side stood Spain, a team undergoing a fascinating cultural and tactical evolution. Years after their legendary golden generation conquered the world, La Roja arrived with a renewed identity, blending traditional positional play with direct, explosive youth. The ghosts of past international failures hung silently in the air, creating a powerful redemptive arc for a manager and squad eager to prove that Spanish football could once again sit on the throne of global supremacy. The head-to-head narrative was not just about two nations, it was a battle of footballing philosophies, a clash between South American passion and European structural discipline, making the ultimate outcome a defining chapter in the history books of the sport. As the match kicked off, the initial tactical framework revealed two distinct approaches to controlling space and momentum. Spain established their intention early, employing a high positional structure with narrow fullbacks and wide wingers aimed at pinning the Argentine defensive bloc. On the other hand, Argentina set up in a compact, resilient shape designed to absorb pressure and starve the Spanish playmakers of central space. In the opening exchanges, Spain searched for a breakthrough by exploiting the right flank. A clever sequences of passes saw a deflected ball break toward the penalty area, resulting in a low effort from Yamal that forced a combined, desperate save from the Argentine central defenders and goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez. The setup before this opportunity highlighted Spain's high-press trigger, forcing Argentina into a hurried turnover in their own third. The action itself exposed a momentary gap between the opposition's left back and central defender, allowing Spain to exploit the half-space. The aftermath of this early chance immediately set the psychological tone. It forced Argentina to retreat deeper into a low block, while boosting Spanish confidence, giving La Roja complete control over the tempo and flow of the opening 45 minutes. Throughout the first half, Spain maintained suffocating possession, continuously testing the structural integrity of the defending champions. Despite their territorial dominance, clear opportunities remained scarce due to Argentina's fierce, combative defensive commitment. However, as the half progressed, the physical toll of absorbing constant pressure began to manifest. A swift build-up play involving Alex Baena and Fabian Ruiz found Mikel Oyarzabal at the edge of the box, who unleashed a low-driven strike toward the bottom corner. Martinez once again reacted sharply, diving low to deny the opening goal. The setup involved Spain patiently cycling the ball side to side to stretch Argentina's midfield line, creating a pocket of space between the lines. The action was defined by a crisp, first-time strike that required exceptional reflexes to turn away. The aftermath of this moment saw tempers begin to fray, with yellow cards being brandished as physical tackles increased in frequency. Argentina's inability to register a single shot in the first half reflected their tactical struggle to transition from defense to attack, leaving their star forward isolated and starved of service. The second half began with Argentina attempting to introduce fresh energy and tactical bite by making strategic substitutions at the break. However, the structural pattern of the match remained stubbornly intact, with Spain continuing to dictate the terms of engagement. The tension inside the stadium reached a boiling point as the clock ticked into the closing stages of regulation time. Spain mounted sustained pressure, forcing a series of corner kicks and dangerous set pieces. In the 85th minute, Spain came within inches of finding the winning goal. A beautifully delivered ball into the box found Aymeric Laporte, whose header forced Martinez into another crucial save. The tactical context showed Spain flooding the box while leaving backline cover to prevent counterattacks. The action was a soaring leap and header, met by an equally impressive instinctive save. The aftermath left the Spanish bench in disbelief, while Argentina clung desperately to the hope of taking the match into extra time, relying heavily on the heroic individual performance of their goalkeeper. Just when it appeared the match was destined for extra time under equal terms, a catastrophic turn of events reshaped the entire landscape of the final in second-half stoppage time. Seeking to break up a Spanish counterattack, Enzo Fernandez committed a late, heavy challenge on Pau Cubarsí. Having already received a caution earlier in the match, the midfielder was shown a second yellow card, resulting in an immediate red card. The setup to this critical juncture involved Spain breaking rapidly through the central corridor after regaining possession high up the pitch. The action was an aggressive, mistimed tackle born out of fatigue and frustration. The aftermath was immediate and devastating for Argentina. Reduced to 10 men, their manager was forced into defensive adjustments, abandoning all offensive intent to construct a desperate survival wall. For Spain, the red card provided a massive psychological boost, giving them an overwhelming numerical and territorial advantage heading into the grueling 30 minutes of extra time. As extra time commenced, Spain's dominance turned into a relentless siege against a tired, depleted 10-man Argentine side. The pressure manifested in dramatic fashion early in the second period of extra time. Just 30 seconds after the restart, Pedro Porro delivered a searching, high-arching cross toward the back post. Nico Williams demonstrated extraordinary skill to keep the ball alive, cushioning a soft knockback directly into the path of Ferran Torres. Without hesitation, Torres rifled a half-volley with immense power straight into the roof of the net, sending the Spanish supporters into unbridled delirium. The setup before the goal saw Spain patiently cycling possession across the width of the pitch to drag the 10-man block out of position. The action was a masterclass in aerial control and finishing technique, a high-sensory moment that shattered the deadlocked atmosphere. The aftermath was a total shift in momentum. Argentina's defensive wall had finally cracked, leaving them with limited time and energy to mount a desperate comeback. In the closing minutes of extra time, Argentina thrown every available player forward in a chaotic, emotional bid to salvage their World Cup campaign. Tactical shape was abandoned in favor of sheer desperation, with center-backs pushed into the attacking box for long balls and set pieces. In the 120th minute, a corner delivered by Lionel Messi was flicked on at the near post, landing in the path of Giuliano Simeone. Leaning back as he struck the ball, his attempt blazed over the crossbar, squandering Argentina's final clear opportunity to equalize. The setup was a high-risk, all-out attack strategy from a set-piece situation. The action was a tense, chaotic scramble inside the 6-yard box resulting in a missed volley. The aftermath was the definitive deflation of Argentine hopes. The final whistle blew moments later, confirming a 1-0 victory for Spain and crowning them world champions for the second time in their storied history. This monumental victory carries profound implications for the future landscape of international football. For Spain, this triumph represents the ultimate validation of their modern tactical framework. Winning a World Cup on the back of European Championship success proves that their blend of youth, positional fluidity, and technical excellence is the undisputed gold standard in the sport today. Their young core has gained invaluable championship pedigree, positioning them to dominate the international scene for the next decade. Conversely, for Argentina, this dramatic defeat marks the end of a glorious era. The loss signals a necessary structural rebuild and leaves an agonizing question mark over how the national team will navigate the transition into a post-legendary phase without their long-standing talisman. As we look back on a final defined by tactical patience, dramatic red cards, and breathtaking extra-time strikes, one fundamental question remains for football fans around the world. Did Spain's structured positional dominance truly expose the limitations of Argentina's battle-hardened resilience, or was the ultimate outcome simply decided by a single moment of indiscipline in stoppage time?